In many ways, Obi-Wan Kenobi's master, Qui-Gon Jinn, was his absolute hero. As a Jedi Padawan, Kenobi would even model his very lightsaber style around his master. He believed that Qui-Gon knew best in every situation, although the two of them would sometimes butt heads. Obi-Wan didn't fully understand why Qui-Gon Jinn frequently went against the wishes of the Jedi Council, realizing that Qui-Gon Jinn ultimately served the Force above the Jedi Order itself, even though Kenobi often disagreed with him. Nonetheless though, there was a great love and respect between the two of them. This is why when Qui-Gon Jinn was struck down by the Sith apprentice Maul, it was hugely impactful on Obi-Wan Kenobi. Following their huge engagement, in fact, Obi-Wan would even go as far as to retool his entire lightsaber fighting style, changing it from the style that he had modeled after Qui-Gon Jinn. And in this video, we'll explain exactly why Kenobi made this decision, and ultimately, according to Obi-Wan himself, why he believed Qui-Gon Jinn lost to Darth Maul that day on Naboo. To begin, let's discuss the lightsaber forms used by Obi-Wan Kenobi as well as Qui-Gon Jinn during the Phantom Menace. Qui-Gon Jinn was a master of Form 4 lightsaber combat known as Ataru. Ataru being a very acrobatic and aggressive lightsaber form. The form was basically built around being more physically fit than your opponent. It utilized jumping as well as force abilities to throw your opponent off balance. The form was also largely focused on speed. This is why the form was considered the aggression form. Basically, the form was centered around force-assisted acrobatics, both in use for attack as well as defense, as a Jedi could jump away from their opponent or jump towards them using the Force. Form 4, also called Ataru, is the most acrobatic form, filled with numerous elaborate moves, and relies heavily upon a Jedi's ability to run, jump, and spin using the Force. Ataru was a phenomenal form to use in single combat, as well as against groups of enemies, as it allows a Force user to jump around the battlefield with relative ease. Ataru went hand in hand with the Force, as one could not fully use Ataru to its truest extent without tapping into and using the Force as a supplementary material. However, Ataru was extremely weak during prolonged engagements, as it took a lot out of a Force user to use the form properly. This is why the longer a battle went on for a user of Ataru, the weaker they would become. One of the many reasons why Obi-Wan Kenobi would point out why Qui-Gon Jinn lost to Darth Maul. According to Kenobi himself though, more in depth, Qui-Gon Jinn was past his physical prime during his encounter with Maul. What this ultimately meant is he was not able to keep as well of pace in Ataru as he had in days gone by. Darth Maul, on the other hand, was far superior physically to Qui-Gon Jinn during this time. Maul met Qui-Gon Jinn's aggression with aggression, as Darth Maul used Form 7 lightsaber combat known as Juyo. Even when Obi-Wan Kenobi himself used Form 4 Ataru against Darth Maul, he was ultimately defeated, despite being able to cut the Sith Lord's lightsaber in half. Qui-Gon Jinn's death at the hands of Maul was a major eye-opener for Obi-Wan Kenobi, as he ultimately decided to switch his lightsaber form. One of the major reasons Obi-Wan said that Qui-Gon Jinn lost to Darth Maul was because of his lack of defense. Qui-Gon Jinn was so focused on attacking Maul that he forgot to protect himself. This is why, following Jinn's passing, Kenobi began using Form 3 lightsaber combat, the all-defensive form. Kenobi did not want to make the mistakes that his master had in a lightsaber duel. He wanted to make sure above everything else that he was protected, and therefore his defense became immaculate. Form 3 also didn't require anywhere near the physical exertion of Form 4. In fact, Form 3 Sarisu is considered the least aggressive lightsaber form of all. In a sense, the Jedi that used Form 3 truly understood what it meant to be a peacekeeper, and Obi-Wan believed had Qui-Gon learned this lesson, he would have still been around. In the end, Qui-Gon Jinn's loss was due to him losing track of the battle. In addition to Darth Maul being physically superior to Qui-Gon Jinn, he also led him to exactly where he wanted him. Maul was able to separate him from Kenobi, and once it was just Jinn and Maul, all Maul had to do was outlast the aging Jedi Master, picking him apart due to his lack of defense. But that is simply why Qui-Gon Jinn lost his duel with Darth Maul, according to Obi-Wan Kenobi, the man who sat there and watched as his master was butchered before him. But leave your thoughts on this in the comments down below, and was Obi-Wan Kenobi correct on his assumptions of Qui-Gon Jinn, and why he ultimately lost this duel? Also, what are your thoughts on Obi-Wan's decision to switch his lightsaber form after watching the death of his master? Do you guys agree with it, or what do you think Obi-Wan would look like as a Jedi if he had stuck with Ataru? As always, my friends, thank you guys so much for watching. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.